And welcome to the Metal Mixtape here on KSKQ 89.5 FM Ashland, Oregon, 94.1 FM Medford, Oregon, stream online on kskqdjramo. It's the boy, it's the Don DJ Ramo. I am honored and beyond motherfucking humble to talk to the one and only Michael Moose Thomas, drummer of Kill the Lights. I am just beyond ecstatic. I was like last night when I was just listening to you, it brought me back to like the 15-year-old Omar. You know what I mean? When I used to go to those concerts, and you know what the thing is like metalcore is my favorite genre, and just metal in general. You know, I know probably a lot of people like to throw certain albums and certain artists into bubbles, but the thing is, man, you have such a distinct heart-pounding drumming to any project that you've ever been in that is so distinctive. That what's crazy about this is that I listened to the album first before, because sometimes, you know, I get interviews emailed to me and I'm just like, oh, okay, like, you know, and I listen to the artist first before I do my information. And I was listening to the album and I was like, wait, I know this drummer. Very, very distinct power behind your drumming, dude. And I saw it was you, man. So just thank you so much for being on the show.
Oh man, that's the reason why I do it, you know. I just want to be I don't want to be the best drummer in the world. I don't want to I know I'm not the best drummer in the world because there's 1,000 better drummers than me. I just want to be me, man, and that's all I want to be. So thank you very much.
No, of course. And the thing is, it's like, I mean, I got questions all over the place, but one thing I want to touch first is basically like this album Kill the Lights, because the thing is I listen to maybe 12 to 14 albums a week, and this one what I love about this album is that you guys had extremely good songwriting and structuring, man. I mean, you guys were having elements of all these buildups of choruses, of verses, of these buildups to these huge clean sections. I mean, so many songs on this album. Hear You Scream, which is absolutely incredible. My favorite song on this album is Broken Bones, which is beautiful. And you know what the thing is? Jordan and Travis are incredible guitar players too, man. Like you got a wallop of musicians on here, and James, beautiful singer, dude.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm I'm definitely blessed to be in a band with such incredible, you know, musicians. Definitely with Jordan and Travis's guitar playing and songwriting, and then James, when I was listening to the demos for these, James's lyrics and his melodies completely blew me away. I was just like, holy shit, man.
Oh no, and what's awesome about this album, Death Melodies, is that I didn't hear like any filler songs on this album. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, a lot of bands these days, they're doing like LPs and EPs, and they're releasing like 3 throughout the year. And I had this discussion with Rudy Sarzo about how, like, you know, people don't put as much time into albums anymore. And I felt like you guys put in so much time on this album, because for me, like I said, Hear You Scream, Broken Bones, oh my God, From Ashes, A Man Without a Face, Drowning. There's so many tracks on here, but what I loved about it is that I felt like you guys really hit the essence of like every single metal genre that you guys really like. I feel like sometimes when you hear an album, you can really tell when the musician really loves what they're playing. Explain to me like what your idea was behind Death Melodies, because like I said, it's just a powerhouse of an album where I feel like there's no filler songs on it.
We just wanted to, you know, firstly, write what we like writing, you know, and it's funny how you should say that. It sounds like me, you knew it was me drumming, because when we're writing a song and we're stuck on a part, say if it's a guitar part, and Travis will say, well, what do you want me to do? I always say, well, sound like Travis, you know, be yourself. Yeah, so it's definitely each person's got an individual identity, and just as long as the band are happy with what we're writing, it doesn't matter what we're writing. That's what we'll be supporting and putting out, you know. So it's definitely yeah. I mean, there's no hidden source or anything, you know. It's just what we do.
No, absolutely. So of course, you know, a lot of people know you from your past and the world touring that you did. So when you decided to start Kill the Lights, did you know already the exact musicians that you wanted for this project, or did you go out there and search and ask around, like who maybe wanted to play a project like this? Like how did this whole forming of Kill the Lights become?
Yeah, well, I left Bullet, and then I
Yep.
wanted to do something new, but then it was two things. I didn't want to join an established band because I don't like being told what to do, for one.
Who does
Um,
it?
exactly. Um, and then two, I had to know the members because, 6 months down the line, if it was a stranger, we might not even get on, and that's it, it's game over. So I was like, well, who do I know, who I get on with, and who I've toured with a bunch of times? I was like, Jordan fucking Whelan from Still Remains, because Bullet and Still Remains toured a lot together back in the day. So I called Jordan and he was like, hell yeah, man, I'll do it. So that's how it started. And then James jumped on board, and then Travis, and then we got Jay in a couple of years later.
That's incredible, man. I feel like you really nailed it in the coffin, man. I feel like a lot of times when somebody leaves a project and starts another one, it could hit or miss. And I feel like you guys really hit, man. I mean, I'm talking about like dual leads, like clean breakdowns, brutal screens. But not only that, I feel like this album just screams so much melody, man. You know what I mean? It is extremely catchy, and like you said, it starts and like I feel like it starts with James, but also just like I feel like you guys really write like vocal and centric music, but also you leave rooms for like everybody else to shine, man. Because yeah, no, hearing Jason, his screams are like so distinct. But I feel like you got a really good match. I feel like sometimes you get a mismatch when you add two vocalists, and I feel like you guys really nailed it in the coffin. Was the vocals pretty easy to write on this album?
Well, I just leave the vocals to the vocalists. You don't hear me, or I don't write lyrics, I don't write melodies or nothing. I focus on the music with the rest of the guys, and then I hop out. But as soon as I heard the melodies and the lyrics, I was just like, holy shit, man. I was
Oh
like,
yeah.
this is like a step up from the last album. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah. No. No. It's absolutely fantastic, man. Like Sleep with the Devil, 10 out of 10 is just like such a beautiful like acoustic ballad, which is just which is just incredible. Like I said, I think you guys hit so many avenues on this album that like any fan of yours or just of this genre. And the thing is, it's like when I was watching your music videos, I read a lot of the comments, and all the comments were really positive. They were talking about like how, oh man, like Michael and Jason are bringing me back to my childhood, because it's like, we're all growing up now. You know what I mean? I got gray hair. I'm 34. I started listening to you guys I started listening to you when I was 14, and it's like when a genre, so many albums came out of that genre. It's incredible. I feel like you guys really did something fresh though. You know what I mean? Like it wasn't just like a repeat of anything else. I really felt like Kill the Lights stands on its own, And the thing is, a lot of people know you, Michael, and Jason from your last project. Like let's say like did you have a formulation in your head of like what the difference you wanted to do in Kill the Lights than anything else? Because we all grow up and we want to do something different. Like what did you formulate in your head? Like where were you emotionally when you were in Kill the Lights?
I just wanted to be in, people know it was me playing my drums, and people know it obviously, it's Jay because he's got such a distinctive sound to his voice. When I started Killer Lights, I just wanted to write heavy music, and that was it, man. Good songs. I mean, that's the key, I think, is write songs so good that people can't ignore them.
Yeah, no, I agree, man. Just listening, like I said, I've this album was so great, man. I'll tell you how great this album was. So great that after I listened to it, I called my best friend, and I sent him a lot of these songs, and I was like, dude, because like I'm in a band too, dude, and we love all these type of riffs, dude. And I was like, dude, this is fresh. This is amazing. Was there is it if I know you guys have your singles you release and everything. Is there a favorite song that you have on the album that maybe really hits to you personally? That like maybe like when you put on Death Melodies, you almost replayed the song over and over.
Yeah, I mean, when we were figuring singles out for this album, it was so difficult because we were like, each member of the band and the label, they were all like, we've all got our different favorites for this. But because of the albums, it's such diverse, it's really hard to pick a single. But the song that always grips me is probably either Sleep with the Devil because it's so different with the the quiet
Yep.
gospel part at the end, or the last song Drowning because it's so dark and quite heavy, you know. I mean, it's a slow song, but it's lyrically heavy and the music is very quite heavy as well, you know.
No, I totally agree, man. Just oh man, like I think this is one of those albums that I think people can have in their car or just listen to over and over because it just I feel like you guys did such a great job. Do you guys plan on doing any touring on Death Melodies at all?
Yeah, I mean, in 4 weeks we got a Europe and UK
Oh,
tour
I saw that.
plan,
Yeah.
and then all eyes are set on North America. Then, really, so we'll see.
Well, shoot, I'm gonna have to come watch you guys, man.
Yeah, man, definitely, we'll have to see you guys.
Dude, oh, absolutely. If everybody who's listening right now, we're talking to Michael Moose Thomas, drummer of Kill the Lights, the new album Death Melodies, via Fearless Records. Absolutely beautiful. I recommend Broken Bones. I honestly I recommend this whole album because I have a whole page and I have the word wow written by every song. But like even Ghost of Yesterday, an explosion of energy of I explain that song like bombs and flowers because you guys have so much explosiveness, but so much prettiness. Um, can I to end the interview? Can I ask you a couple drummer questions and a couple random questions?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, dude. So nowadays, you grew up in the 2000s. You were one of those drummers that really influenced a lot of drummers in a lot of bands. Nowadays, there's a lot of hardcore bands that's really popping off. There's a lot of like deathcore bands and just like death metal bands popping off. The Slaughter the Prevails, the Lorna Shores of the world. Is there any younger bands rising up that really impresses you, and maybe that started with the drummer?
Lorna Shore.
Yeah.
I was like, the first time I heard Lorna Shore, I was like, that's got to be like Pro Tools drumming. There's no way that's a human playing drums. And I was convinced, right? Until I saw this Austin, the guy, his YouTube video, and I was just like, fuck off. This guy was taking it completely from like, Dave Lombardo did in the 80s. He took metal to a different metal drumming to a different level. And now I find this guy, Austin, he's just completely, I was baffled. I was like, holy shit, man. And then I commented on one of his YouTube or Instagram things. And he commented me back saying, Moose, man, if it wasn't for the poison, I wouldn't even be here. So I was like, holy shit, man, I did something.
Does that ever blow your mind of like how much of an influence you've had on a lot of people nowadays? Do you ever have like even though you're talking about Austin, but does it happen a lot that people reach out to you and tell you that like, hey man, like Michael, like you have no idea how much you emotionally hit me, like and coming from bands that are like just kicking ass right now.
I'm only starting to get it now because obviously the next generation is coming through. But yeah, I'm getting it a lot now, and it's quite humbling actually. I mean, I never did it for notoriety or anything. I mean, I was just jamming and playing what I wanted to play, and if a young kid picked up the sticks because of me and it was influenced because of me, I mean, that was the goals done, you know. And now to get it, I get a lot of people now saying, "You got me into drumming," and I'm like, "Cool, job done."
That's incredible. That's what, I feel like, anytime I hear any philosophers or anything like in life, it's about who you've affected and who you've inspired that like really resonates with people for the rest of their lives. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, I hope I'm doing for the younger generation what people like Dave Lombardo and Scott Travis, Nico McBrain, did for me, growing up.
I like it, dude. It's incredible. What is one thing you're great at that a lot of people wouldn't expect that isn't music related?
Fuck.
You good at cooking? You
Yeah,
good?
but
You
I'm good at
huh?
cooking. My wife don't cook. I'm good at drinking.
I like it. I got a water because I'm at work.
Yeah, basically, I don't know. I think I'm a pretty okay dad with my kids. I don't know.
I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do. Yeah, just normal stuff, I guess. But
Yeah,
drumming is, I think that's my excel at drumming.
dude, I love that, man. Dude, hey, being a parent is like one of the most greatest things on the planet, man. You know what
Oh
I mean?
yeah.
Like I go home to my 4-year-old every day, and sometimes I get busy with booking shows or doing interviews or at work and everything, and I feel like doing music's a lot easier, and I take more risks because at the end of the day, if I have my son, I could lose at everything, but if I have him, then I already won.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's definitely when I was in Bullet, my first two children, I didn't even see. I missed so much of their lives growing up because I was always, touring and stuff. But since leaving Bullet with my new two kids, I get to see them growing up, which I missed with my others, and it's just like, oh, it's awesome, you know. And they don't
Oh yeah.
realize that Daddy is going back to work soon, so they're like, "What? Well, oh, okay, so see you at like, I'll see you at 4." I'm like, "No, I'm going to work. I'll see you in a couple of months." So they're like,
Oh
"What?"
man.
They just don't understand.
Doing tours and all that, like, how do you keep your head straight knowing you have like your kiddos at home? Like, do you normally like, you go back to the tour bus and just relax, or you know what I mean? Because like, so me and my son's mom, we're not together anymore, and my son goes to his mom's on the weekends, and one thing I try to do is just stay busy with radio or YouTube or music. Like how do you keep yourself mentally sane and focused while you're on tour and on music while you're not around your kiddos?
Well, my wife's fantastic with the kids, so I trust her completely, 100%. But is there's modern technology now, which we have with, like, FaceTime, and I'm sure they be calling me whenever they feel sad or stuff. Yeah, but it is what it is. This is what Daddy does, and I mean, they're starting to figure out because, oh, well, how come you got to go to work now and do like radio interviews? I'm like, yeah, that's kind of part of what I do.
I'm gonna work my ass off to promote this and share this as much as possible because I always say if it's not worth taking time away from my children, then it's not worth it at all.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what we all do it for, isn't it?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I got a big question for you, which I have to ask just from a fan's perspective. So of course, in a lot of people's top 10 records ever in the world, it was Bullet for My Valentine's Poison, the Poison. You know what I mean? On everybody's list, on my top 5 list ever, it's the Poison, Bullet for My Valentine, City of Evil by Avenged Sevenfold, Ascendancy by Trivium. You know, so many of those albums. And even Kill Switch and the Azalea Dines. Like I grew up in that era. Um, now now that Trivium and Bullet for My Valentine are doing the 20th year anniversary on those albums, does that ever hit you emotionally, like seeing that, or are you just happy that you're able to have more time with everything else that you really wanted to focus on? Because a lot of people are making a big deal about those albums, but the thing is that like you being a co-founder of that band, like I feel like that's your baby.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I mean, I'm glad I did the Poison, and I guess it's a classic album now, and everyone's enjoying it. I'm getting it a lot. That was a lot of people use that album to get into metal, which is awesome. Yeah, but whatever they want to do, I don't care. I signed off. That chapter is closed now, and I'm on to Killer Lights. So I wish them well.
Cool, man. Cool, man. I'm sorry I had to ask that. I don't see badasses like you all the time, dude. And to me, like Michael, you weren't just like somebody I listened to. Like I had your pictures on my wall as a teenager. You know what I mean? I had your posters over here, Trivium's over here, Avenged Sevenfold's over here, and for me, like people have their big four as the Metallica, Slayer, Megadeth, and Anthrax, and for me, my big four was Trivium, Avenged Sevenfold, Bullet for My Valentine, and maybe a Atreyu or Killswitch. So but everybody, please check out Death Melodies. It's honestly, I think right now we're almost into April, and I would say it's the best album of the year for me so far.
Oh,
It's
really? Thank you very much.
there's no well the thing is there's no slouch on this album. Like I said, there's no fillers. Every song is badass. And, you know, one of the things I try to do with every time I do a review is that I try to listen to every song without skipping any sections, without, you know what I mean? I put my headphones on and I have my notebook filled with notes, and I try to leave a couple of paragraphs for each song, man. And I really recommend everybody to listen to this because I think this is the most powerful I've heard you in a decade, and this is just incredible. And you and James, Jason, Jordan, Travis, and Michael, you have so much to offer, dude, and this is incredible. And I just want to thank you so much for taking time and just being on my show, and I can't wait to promote it.
Cool, man. Thanks for having me. It's been a joy. Thank you very much.
I love it. Last but not least, though, can you say this is Michael Moose Thomas from Kill the Lights, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape?
Hey, everyone. This is Michael Moose Thomas from Kill the Lights, and you are listening to the Metal Mixtape.
Michael, have a great rest of your day of interviews. Have a great day with your family. Have a great day with your kiddos. Thank you so much for being a huge part of my life and continuing to be a huge part of my life. I'm going to work my ass off as a musician. So one of these days, Fearless Records will go, "Hey, Omar, you want to tour Kill the Lights?" I'd be like, fuck yeah.
Cool.
All right, Michael, thank you so much. I'll talk to you later, brother.
Thanks, man.